Again a very warm welcome to my class 12 student. Today we will start a new topic, that is dielectric constant, or you can say relative permittivity. So first of all student, we will understand what you mean by relative permittivity. So relative permittivity is defined as it is a property of the medium which determine the electric force between two charges situated in that medium. So electric, or I can say the dielectric constant, can be represented in the two forms student by the help of the Coulomb's law. Suppose here you see I have considered two medium. One is the vacuum, another is medium. See what happened. I have taken, according to the Coulomb's law, you everyone know that what I have taught in last classes, that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Here epsilon naught means that the permittivity in free space. Now what I have taken, the permittivity in some medium. What is that? 1 by 4 pi. See, this is the variation. This is epsilon naught and this is epsilon. I hope so you are clear student. This is epsilon naught vacuum. This is E in medium. That is 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. Once you take the ratio of these two, means F vacuum by F medium. Yeah, let me explain through writing that F vacuum is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Okay, this is equation 1. And F medium is equal to 1 by 4 pi, that is epsilon. Okay, 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. This is equation 2. Once I will divide this equation, suppose I am considering K is F vacuum by F medium. What happened? F vacuum, you know, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square divided as whole 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 by r square. Now you see the result student, all terms will be cancelled, and what is not common? Here epsilon naught and here epsilon. So it will come as epsilon by epsilon naught, that is K, or sometimes we can write it ER. This is the formula for dielectric constant or relative permittivity. Now I will focus on force between multiple charges. Means when you are applying force on a multiple charges, what happen? This concept, if I will say this concept student, it is difficult for you to understand with the help of Coulomb's law. So we have taken the help of the principle of superposition. So what principle of superposition tells us? This is a part of experimentation. It verifies that the force on any charge due to the numbers of other charge. Means suppose if one charge I have considered as Q1 and there are multiple of force acting upon that Q1, that force we have considered in the form of vector sum of all the forces acting on that charge due to the other charges and taken once at a time. The individual forces are unaffected due to the presence of other charges. Means the two charge what you have considered, that will be remain unaffected by all other charges, that we have to consider, and this is the experimental part in principle of superposition. Let us take some example. Suppose I have considered three charges student in a system. What happened? Suppose Q1, Q2 as well as Q3. And what you see? The force on one charge, say Q1, due to two charges, means Q1 experience a force due to Q2 and Q3. What the equation you will see? See the equation. Here what I have written student, F is equal F12 means first charge. This is the one represent first charge experience a force due to second charge. I repeat my word. The first charge experience the force due to second charge, that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So how many charges? Two charges, student. Q1, Q2, R12 square, and this is R12, that is a unit vector. Clear? Which represent the direction what we have read in class 11. Now you see how many charges are there. Q1, Q2 and Q3. This is written clearly. This is Q2. This is the 2. Now what happened? This I have shown you. The first charge Q1 experienced by charge 2. Now same the first charge experienced force due to Q3. So how you will represent? See. The first charge experience a force due to 3 means third charge. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 R13 square R13 cap. Clear? So these are the two force what I have shown you, which force experienced by Q1 due to Q2 and Q3. Now see, here you have applied the principle of superposition. What is tell? It is a sum of the force experienced by all individual charges. So F12 plus F13. So you will put the value here. See, I have put all the value. You can take the common term. Suppose 1 by 4 pi epsilon is common in both the side. You can take a common. So after considering common value, see student, that is for only 3 charges. But if you want to consider more charges, if you want to consider n numbers of charges, see I have considered F12, F13, similarly Fn, 1n. So I have 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 5, like this up to 1n. So this is a sum over of Q1 because common, because Q1 is the charge which is experience the force due to the other charges. So here you can take Q1 common, sum over of 1 is equal to 2 means I is equal to 2 up to n number of charges. So this is a sum of the formula, and this formula with the help of Coulomb's and superposition principle. Now electrostatic is the basic, or I can say electrostatic is basically consequences of two laws. Without these two laws, you cannot explain electrostatic in a clear manner. One is the student Coulomb's law, you know the formula, and second the superposition principle. This is the thing which is the combination of Coulomb's and superposition principle. Okay, very fast I will give you the some concept of quantization, because in the first class student I have given you the concept of basic property of charges, which I have divided into 3 forms if you will remember the last video. One is additivity, second is quantization, and third is conservation. So additivity is the sum of addition of all the form that you have seen. See F12, F21, this is other part. But what is a quantization? That you have to remember in the formula, that is Q is equal to NE. N is the integer which you can take positive or negative also, and E is the charge of an electron, which you have to remember the value of the electron. Okay. Yes, now we will move to the concept of electric field, which is the, I think so, this is the third topic of your chapter. First, I have told you about Coulomb's law. Second, I have told you about the relative permittivity. And third, we are starting with electric field. So, to understand student electric field, first of all, we have to understand what do you mean by field. What field signifies? It signifies how some distributed quantity, that some distributed quantity may be scalar or may be vector. Yes, it may be scalar or vector, varies with position. So here one thing you have to remember student, that electric field is depend upon the position of the charges, means where you have placed the position of that charges. So now first of all I will define what do you mean by electric field. See, the force experienced by a unit positive charge. And unit positive charge means one charge which I can take plus 1, whose value is 1. So the force experienced by a unit positive test charge placed at that point without distributing the position of an source charge. So to understand electric field, student, you have to understand the concept of charge, because in this part when I am demonstrating the electric field, student, there are two such kind of charge I will consider. One is the source charge. So what is the source charge? Which will produce electric field. And second, you can see two words I have used here. One is, student, the test charge, and another is source charge. So source charge will produce the electric field and test charge will detect the presence of electric field. I will repeat my word. The source charge will produce the electric field. The test charge will detect the presence of electric field. Now suppose here the source charge I have taken as capital Q, student. See, I have considered the source as capital Q and small q is act as a test charge. Clear? What I will do in a system, I will place a source charge plus Q, or you can consider here only plus Q. It will radiate some electric field, okay? And once it will remove some electric field, what happened? This charge, clear? This charge acts as a test charge which will detect whether there is a presence of electric field or not. So once you will get the value of electric field, see the formula. R is the position, clear? R is the position of the Q. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught source charge by R square, and R cap is the position vector. Clear? So here I have written R is taken a unit vector in how much form? R by magnitude of R. Clear to you, student? So the force exerted by plus Q charge on Q, because this is a source, this will produce the electric field, and due to the presence of electric field, it will apply force on small q. Am I clear to you? Yes. This is a source charge, student. This will create an electric field. Due to the creation of electric field, it will apply force on test charge. So what is the value of force? See, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught capital Q small q R square with R cap vector. So if we create the relation, student, what we will see? F with the position R is equal to Q with electric field position R. So simple formula we can create, that is electric field equal to force per unit charge. Clear to you? Okay. Now from the formula you can create the SI unit strength. Very simple. That is force is Newton and Q is stand for Coulomb. So combined formula is Newton per Coulomb. One important point you have to remember, that suppose this charge is unity, student. Okay. If I will take this charge is unity, what happen? Unity means value is 1. So ER in the form of numerically, if this is Q, that is a test charge which is 1 value. So electric field is equal to force. This is the formula, or this is the important point you have to remember. Means when electric field, suppose they will ask you when electric field is equal to force. This is only be happen if the test charge or this charge is unity, means value is 1. Second important point you have to remember, that electric field due to Q, that is a source charge, is independent of small q, because now I have told you the formula, student. E is equal to F by Q. So as we know, F is proportional to small q. So if I will take ratio of F by small q, what happen? It is independent of Q. Means electric field does not depend upon the test charge. Clear? Third thing. If the charge is positive, student, it always create the electric field in outward direction. Clear? If your source charge, this is a source charge. So if source charge is positive, it will create the electric field in the outward direction. And if the source charge is negative, it will create the electric field in inward direction. Fourth important point, the magnitude of electric field is depend upon the position. In the beforehand also I have told you that electric field is always depend upon the position or the distance. Okay, so the distance of the source with the test charge. Clear to you? Okay. Some of the physical significance of electric field, student, what is that? It is elegant way of characterizing the Electrical environment of a system of the charges means if you want to know the characteristics of system of charges, electric field is very helpful for us. And second, it is a characteristic of a system of charges. That is, the meaning is same, student. So you have to remember that electric field play a very vital role while understanding the characteristics of the system of charges. But if you want to know more importance or significance of electric field, that is only be applicable if we will go beyond the electrostatic, means that is electromagnetic concept, where we have to consider that charge is not at rest but the charge in motion. Now here is some problem for you, student, which you will try to solve. If it is not able to solve, please ask this one. Okay, so first of all, you try this all three questions to solve by yourself. Okay, any doubt you can ask to me. So now we will start the electric field due to a point charge. So how you can create an electric field due to point charge? See, two charge I have taken. One is the source charge, another is test charge. And what happened? This source charge will radiate the electric field, and this, due to this electric field of the source charge, test charge experience a force. I will repeat the word. The source charge will create the electric field. Due to the creation of electric field, this test charge will experience a force. So our work is to find out how much electric field at point P. Let us check it out. So first of all, student, we have to apply the Coulomb's law. As you know, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and two charges, one is Q, another is Q naught. So Q naught, the distance of separation is R, so R ka square, and as it will represent the direction, I have taken R ka cap. Okay. Now you know the formula, E is equal to F by Q naught. You got the force value this much. You put it like this. Divided is by Q naught. Q naught will cancel, and you will get the formula E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. So here Q naught, student, here what we will see that E is inversely proportional to distance. Check it out. E is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Means if we increase the distance more and more, the electric field goes on decreasing. Now I will solve one question for you. See what is the question. First check it out. The 2 point charge, one point charge is plus 4 microcoulomb, another is plus 1 microcoulomb, are separated by a distance 2 meter in air. Okay, find the point on the line joining charges at a which the net electric field of the system will be. Now you see the solution what I have done. See, I have taken first charge 4 microcoulomb here, second plus 1. It is completely the what derivation we have done, the electric field at a point charge. Here is the point charge, which this is at, maybe you can consider as the test charge, which will experience a force. The distance between two charges, student, 2 meter. Okay, so what happened? This will apply force on these charges, this will apply force on these charges, means both will create an electric field. Suppose 4 microcoulomb will create an electric field E1 and 1 microcoulomb create an electric field E2. So both are opposite to each other. So now I will find out what it is written in the question, what the net electric field should be 0, and this will be possible only if E1 is equal to E2. So E1 is 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2, you know. So what is the Q1 Q2? Q naught will be cancelled, so one charge will be remain, that is 4 microcoulomb into distance is AP ka square, what I have written here. Similarly, you will see 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, charge is 1 microcoulomb, distance is BP square, that is complete is 2. This is X, so this much will be 2 minus X. So what I have considered here, see, 2 minus X. Solve normal. In the normal manner, you will get X equal to 4 by 3 meter and X equal to 4 meter. But here you have to understand. Suppose you will put X equal to 4 meter. What you will see, student, E1 and E2 will be have same direction. When the value of E1 is equal to E2, it means same direction. So this is the net electric field will not be 0. So once you will put x equal to 4 by 3, you will see the right of 4 microcoulomb, then that is E is equal to 0. This is for you. Now few question I have written for you to solve the question. That one I have solved for you. This is question which you have to solve very carefully, and that only one question I have given, right? The question is one or two, I think so, two I have given. The 2-point charge of 16 microcoulomb and minus 9 microcoulomb are placed 8 centimeter apart in air. Determine the position of the point at which the resultant field is 0. So in that place, what is question is different. Here you have to show the resultant field is 0. I hope you are understanding. 2 charges, 2 electric field, and sum of 2 electric field will be 0. Clear? Second question, the 2-point charge given this much, Q2 this is 0.4 coulomb, are placed at 0.1 apart. Calculate the electric field at the midpoint between the charges, a point on the line joining Q1 and Q2 such that it is 0.05 meter away from Q2 and 0.15 away from Q1. I hope so you have understood. After that we will proceed the next topics in the next class. Thank you so much.